because I was sick. I was like, no, don't do this to me. Don't run away. Please don't run away. And also, don't believe that bitch. She's horrible. Welcome back to my book channel. My name is Lauren from Lady Lauren Explorer, and today I'm going to be talking about a book that I've been seeing on Book Talk, but I finally decided to read it, and it's by Monica Murphy. It's The Things I Wanted to Say but Never Did. I did not think that I would like this the way I do. There are some triggering things in here. So our heroine, she is with her mother and her stepfather going to a very exclusive 1% party because her stepfather is one of the finance advisors for one of the 1%ers. She's going to this party. She's 14, first time doing this. She gets to see the other side. And at this party, she decides to start guzzling champagne, just trying to get something done. But she realizes there is another teenager there, and they're the only teenagers at this party. He comes up to her talking about, yo, you want some good drink? I got some good drink. And she's just like, okay. She follows him. Then he starts telling her some very hard truths about what her mother has been doing. And it seems like her mother, even though she's married, is having an affair with his father, his married father. And at the time that he's telling her this, he's like, yeah, they're in his office fucking. And I'm just like, oh, wow, ooh, that's painful for me to hear. Must be painful for her. And she's just like, no, my mother would never do that. And I'm just like, ooh. Yikes. And then he just starts calling her all kinds of whores, sluts, homewrecker, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's a 14-year-old girl, and like you just told her that her mother has been having an affair with your father. Like, how is she a whore? you know. But it's boys, it's toxic boys. They kiss, and this is when we start realizing that there's like something kinky about her. She likes forcefulness. She likes dirty talk. She likes humiliation because she's getting very turned on with how he's treating her, which is horrible. Horrible. As a 14-year-old girl, horrible. But they make out. She's very flush. She decides to get away from him and goes back to her mother, and who happens to look the exact same as her, of being kissed forcefully and lustfully and enjoying it. And that's when she realizes her mother is a cheater. Because as she looks back from her mother, they're walking away. Who happens to be in her vision? The boy and his father, who's looking very intently at her mother. And the boy is looking very intently at her. So fast forward, because a lot of things happen. Like her stepfather dies. She has a stepbrother who, this is when the trigger warnings are in, because he is a pede. He is technically, yes, he's a pede. I think they're like 2 years older than each other, but he is like so horrible. He starts washing her in the shower when like she was young. Then he starts creeping into her room and masturbating and like leaving the stuff on her blankets and her duvet. Ugh. Then it just starts escalating and getting worse, and she doesn't want to tell her mother because she thinks her mother's not going to believe her. So she doesn't. She keeps it to herself. She tries to stop. She tries to tell him to stop it, until a point where like he just like wears her down, and they engage in acts that she does not want, but he just takes and she just lets it happen. She doesn't really care anymore. She wants to get away from him, all that jazz. So her stepfather and her stepbrother are dead. She's at this like new preparatory school, not preparatory school, just like a school in her last year. And guess who runs this school? Guess who the school is named after? The family owns this school. The man her mother had an affair with. That also means that the boy goes to the school and he is out for blood because obviously he can't get mad at her mother because her mother's not there. And also she's a grown woman. So who does he blame? He blames the daughter. But what we realize is he's very toxic and he's in love with her. Well, I call it obsession. This is not a romance story because there's like no romance. This is literally just like lust, obsession to obsession of both parts, dependency. That could be like toxic love. He makes her life a living hell at this school. He makes people isolate her. They call her all kinds of names because of what her mother has been doing. He is just horrible to her and she finds it attractive. But what we did not know is that she has a journal, which, sidelight, I'm just saying, never, ever, ever write your feelings out in a fucking journal. I'm just saying that can lead to like horrible things. Horrible things. Use a voice note. So then like you can just put it in like a locked area on your phone. I'm just saying, do that. She has a journal where she has outlined everything that's happened to her since beginning this journal. That includes the assaults that her stepbrother has been putting her through. She details a lot of it, like a lot. She details when she loses her virginity. She details when she goes into a rebellious rage because of what her stepbrother's putting her through at home, and then also her mother and her stepfather's behaviors because he found out that she's been having an affair with his boss. Crazy. And then also about the boy that she remembers when she was 14. Biggest thing is, well, besides the assaults of her, is that she killed her stepbrother and her mom wiped all evidence of it. So here she is, free, but the way she killed her stepbrother accidentally killed her stepfather. So she has this guilt. That's all going on in this book. So much. But we have our hero who, again, he's making her life a living hell. And you start to see that he is noticing that he is falling for her. It's like the pigtail thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like the boy who always just cuts your pigtails, messes with you in class? That's basically him. And he starts to get that he understands that he's falling for her. And things happen. He finds the diary, the journal. And in order for her to get the journal back, she has to be his whenever he wants it. That happens. But along the way, again, he just starts falling for her. This kind of ends with a to be continued for them. Then you have the epilogue, and we have like, I think a 1 or 2 year gap, and he fights for her. So yeah, I really like this. I give it a 4. I think I have like a 4.5. Lots of sex in here. Lots of humiliation, trigger warnings. I am going to read the A Million Different Kisses, 1,000 Different Kisses in Your Lifetime. Maybe that's what it's called. I'm going to read that, but I like the series. Well, I like this book, and I'm starting to like that book as well. So maybe the series is just like what I am. But all these are standalone. They're like in the same world, but standalones. So I highly recommend. But yes, I post a video Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes Sunday at 9. Please be subscribed so you can get notified when I have uploaded them. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!